Hey guys, so I want to talk a little bit about B2B brands and sales and branding, how those go together. So I find that many B2B companies often pit sales against their branding efforts. So I get it at one level, like those are two things that seem separate. And they often think about it like, oh, we got to pick one or the other, right? Budgets only go so far. And right now we just got to make sales happen, guys. But I think that's actually the wrong way to be thinking about branding efforts and how they relate to sales. Branding is an effort in making your brand, your company, consistently different and ideally different in that you provide a higher value to your customers. In other words, if it makes your sales efforts and probably all of your marketing communications more effective, right? Branding makes you more effective, including your sales. So I don't think you have to pit them together. So now the question is, so how do you realize more effective sales through your branding efforts, if you're on board with this idea that I'm pitching to you? So I think there's two stages to brand effectiveness in sales. The first stage is satisfaction, and the second stage is delight. So I think these can be pretty self-explanatory. I think if you think about satisfaction and you think about customer delight, those probably make sense to you, but let's break them down just a little bit. So stage one is satisfaction. So when you do branding, right, especially if you do it right, you do it well, you are in essence making a promise. You're consistently telling the same story to the same kinds of people about who you are, what you do, and how you solve some specific problem or problems for them. And when you can both communicate that and deliver on that promise, you will satisfy your customers, right? Satisfaction. Promise delivered, satisfaction. And guess what? They'll keep coming back for more, right? Like this is the end all be all of sales, is not just making the one sale, but setting it up so that they have a great experience that they want to keep coming back for more. Well, stage two is actually taking that one step further. And we're saying, all right, we've satisfied our customers. How can we delight them, right? Getting them to come back is great. We want that. But how do we make it so that that's not the end of the branding story for that customer? What if your customers not only came back, but were delighted in coming back? And what if that experience that you delight them with was so awesome that they wanted to tell others about it, right? I think this is probably the actual end all be all of sales, right? Our sales efforts, when they're done right and we do them really well, we want them to not just satisfy our customers because we delivered on the promise that we gave them in the sales process, but we actually delight them throughout the entire customer experience so that they become evangelists or they become advocates for our brand. And this is where your branding efforts can really multiply sales efforts, right? So how do you delight through brand, especially in sales? By being the very best version of your company's identity. Some might call it authentic or real or being expressive. When you communicate and behave across your entire company from a foundation of real understanding and belief, in trust in your own core values and your own company identity and your story and your culture, your customers will feel it in every single experience that you build for them. And that'll create experiences that actually really truly delight them, that make them say, wow, did you see what they just did? That's something I want to share with others. I want other people in my life to have that same experience that I just had. So think of some of the top brands in any category. So if you think about Disney in entertainment, or Apple in technology, or Toyota in cars, or Nike in athletic apparel, they all operate from the center of belief in their own sense of identity. And it shows in all their products and experiences, even in as mundane a category as car rentals for business travelers. Hertz absolutely dominates their market with their branded and delightful experiences. Right? So that's the power of branded experiences that help your sales to become more effective. And those are the two keys, right? So we talked about satisfaction, and then the second stage is delight. So I encourage you to check out our full article about these 2 stages of B2B brand effectiveness, especially in sales. There's a lot more to unpack, and we've got a lot more thinking, more examples that we've worked through. And you can find a ton more of articles and resources all about branding on our website at resoundcreative.com. And don't forget, you are remarkable.